report?
Yeah. Well,
I'm gonna let Mario summarize it.
Okay. You just gonna say that all of us been provided with a copy of it.
Mario gonna summarize it.
I call to order the City Council meeting here on May 22nd, 2024. It is approximately 5:33. Madam Clerk, I am going to pass the gavel to the Vice Mayor.
We will now have the invocation by Councilman Robert Stevens.
Vice Mayor, I need to call the roll.
Oh, thank you.
Councilwoman Campbell.
Present.
Councilman Leon.
Here.
Councilwoman Iguodaro.
Here.
Councilwoman Julian.
Here.
Councilman Stevens.
Here.
Vice Mayor Wilson.
Here.
Mayor Harris.
I'm present.
You have a quorum.
Okay, and so now we'll move on to the invocation by Councilman Robert Stevens. Please stand.
God our Father, we thank you for your grace. We thank you for your mercy. We thank you, Father, for this opportunity to gather together collectively as a community. It is in this moment, God, we pray for your grace, your mercy to rest upon our lives. We pray for your many blessings. Open up the windows of heaven and continue to rain on this great city that we call Miami Gardens. Bless its leadership, stakeholders, and everyone that has something to do with this city. Father, it is my prayers that you bless us, you bless every household that's represented, and most importantly, God, that you give us your peace that surpasses all understanding. All these many blessings we ask in your Son's name I do pray. Amen.
Amen. And we will now have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're now on to order of business.
Okay. We will now have the approval of the minutes.
Motion.
Can I get? Okay, the minutes have been moved in second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, minutes have been passed. We're now down to the order of business. Do we have any items that need to be pulled from the consent agenda at this time? Okay, I would like to pull agenda item 10.1 and have it moved up on the agenda. Is that okay? 10.1 is the resolution.
Vice Mayor, that item doesn't need to be pulled. That's a resolution. That's a public hearing.
Yeah, but can I make a motion to have it moved up?
It's the first item.
Okay, I have my notes. Okay, and then 11.6. Listen, y'all, I'm a little nervous. Okay, because I got all my sisters in the house, and so I'm a little nervous. But y'all forgive me. Okay, but I got my sister over here who is the assistant clerk, and she's helping me, okay?
Vice Mayor, would you like it moved up prior to public comments?
I'm sorry?
Would you like the item moved up prior to public comments?
No.
Okay.
No. But I'd like to co-sponsor 11.6, and so I'd like to make that note.
11.6.
Okay, and Madam Vice Mayor?
Yes.
The City Manager's Office would like to withdraw item 11.7.
Okay.
We will bring back at a later date.
Okay. Can we show that 11.7 is being withdrawn?
Noted.
Vice Mayor,
Okay, yes.
I'll go ahead and make a motion on the consent agenda.
Okay.
And I'll second.
All right. So the motion has been made in second. Is all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any nays? Okay. Motion passes. Okay.
Vice Mayor, now we're on to special presentations.
Yes. So we will begin with special.
Our first presentation is our Haitian Heritage Month essay contest winners presented by Councilwoman Linda Julian.
Thank you, Madam Lashara. You look lovely in your green.
Thank you.
At this time, we would like to advise everyone to silence their phones, please.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, and so as part of the Seat 5 Earn As You Learn, you know that every time that there is a Heritage Month, we ask that our students who attend schools in Miami Gardens to write an essay about a person of that particular heritage that has made an impact on society. And so the month of May is Haitian Heritage Month, and so we have 3 essay winners stemming from schools throughout the city of Miami Gardens. At this time, I would like to call up third place winner, Kanai Baptiste. Kanai, please come up, read your essay. And before you begin, as you introduce yourself, please state the school that you represent.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kanai Baptiste. I'm a 5th grader from Norwood Elementary.
Yes, go ahead.
May is Haitian Heritage Month. It is filled with extravagant culture, filled with events and festivals. This month highlights all the great Haitian people from the community who have inspired so many individuals all over the world. One person I know who has inspired me and so many others is Dr. Pierre. She is an amazing Haitian American woman who motivates many. She has accomplished such impactful achievements such as getting married, having her first child, being a successful businesswoman, and teach at the age of 34. Haitian American women like Dr. Pierre is a fitting example for younger children to follow their dreams and accomplish their goals. Dr. Pierre is the greatest educator in the world. Dr. Pierre is also an entrepreneur and runs a successful skincare business called SLP Essentials. She has received her bachelor's, master's degree from the only HBCU in South Florida, Florida Memorial University, and her doctorate degree from Nova Southeastern University in organizational leadership. Dr. Pierre is a member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority. In her free time, she likes to volunteer. Dr. Pierre has contributed to society with Hurricane Relief fundraiser for Haiti, feeding the homeless, donating toiletries to women abuse victims, and much more. Moreover, Dr. Pierre won the title of Rookie Teacher of the Year for the entire Miami-Dade Public Schools in 2019. There's no one as hardworking and amazing as Dr. Pierre. She is simply the best. Thank you.
Remember, guys, I know a lot of you guys, this is your first time here, but the decorum is for you guys, instead of clapping, we do this. Okay?
Y'all want to try it together? Yeah, y'all got it. Right, great.
So, Kanai, I'm going to ask you to stand up here, and then we're going to ask the other students to read their essays, and then we can just get a group photo with all the winners, okay? So at this time, I'd like to bring up the second place essay winner, Zuri Givens. Please state the school that you are representing, Zuri.
Hello, my name is Zuri Givens, and I will be representing Norwood Elementary.
All right.
Have you ever been inspired by a Haitian individual in your family? For me, that is my grandpa, Jerry Bienemy. He passed away when I was only 8 years old, but he made such an impact on my life, community, and his friends and family. He was born on October 14, 1956, in Haiti. He migrated to the United States in 1979. He lived with his family members because his mother could not afford to come with him. My grandpa always told me that he found strength and ambitions from watching his mother and seeing all the sacrifices she had to make raising him. My grandpa was an active member of his church. He helped his community and everyone that needed help. His church did things like feed the homeless, Saturday reach-outs, visit hospitals to pray for the sick, and shut in and provided blankets and supplies to those in need. He believed in helping others and would give the shirt off his back if someone needed it. My grandpa also loved to play football, as in soccer, in his country. He is my inspiration in playing soccer. He taught me some of the moves I have mastered. I am pretty good at soccer now, I think. My grandpa inspired me to be active, smart, work hard, and pray. His gift to society is my impact he made on the community as a church member. My grandpa, Jerry Bienemy, the man that lives in my heart.
Thank you, Zuri. Please join Kanai up here. That was a beautiful story about your grandpa. And I would like to call up the first place winner, Jasmine Clersaint. Jasmine, please state the school that you are representing.
My name is Jasmine Clersaint, and I'm a 5th grade student at Miami Gardens Elementary. The person that inspires me the best that I can be is Mrs. Kathleen John-Lusant. Mrs. Kathleen John-Lusant is the principal of Miami Gardens Elementary School. I have known Mrs. John-Lusant since I was in pre-K. She has made many positive contributions to our society. To begin with, Mrs. John Lusant inspires me in many ways. One way is that she encourages me to always strive to be the best student all the time. Also, she tells me that I am a leader and must lead by example for the younger students. She knows when I am having a bad day and knows just the right words to make me feel better. I always see her with a smile on her face no matter what is going on. In addition, she helps students set achievable goals for themselves by mentoring and making school a place I enjoy coming to every day. In the end, she continues to provide our school with many resources to make learning fun and all students feel included. Furthermore, Mrs. John Lusant has made many positive contributions to our society. One contribution is to make sure that all her students practice the values of the month. This is something she encourages the entire school to become a community that works together. She encourages students to be caring, helpful, respectful, and have compassion. From pre-K to 5th grade, she makes sure that students who displays values are recognized for being model students. As a result, students leave Miami Gardens Elementary with an excellent education and values to be a good citizen. In conclusion, my principal, Mrs. John Lusant, is a wonderful person that has inspired me for many years. Many former students have come back to thank her for all the things she has done to make them better students. Thank you.
Thank you, Jasmine. And her principal is actually here this evening. And I want you guys to know that we invest in our student. Although they are young, they go through the Earn As You Learn initiative from my office. And what we do is we reward them for writing these essays. And so the third place winner is winning $100 tonight. The second place winner gets $200. And the first place winner gets $300.
And use the.
Our next presentation is a presentation by the Florida Black Caucus of Local Elected Officials, second place Essay Award winner, presented by Councilwoman Linda Julian.
Thank you, Lashara. Is Daniel Agiobe here? Daniel, if you're here, please come up. Daniel Agiobe? Okay, Daniel's not here, so we're going to pass on this item.
We now have a special presentation by the manager's office.
Good evening, everyone. Mayor, may I ask Mr. Tom Ruiz to come forward?
You may. Tom.
So, for those who do not know, this is a special person to the City of Miami Gardens, Mr. Avilio Tom Ruiz. He is retiring at the end of this month. So we have a few words for you, and then the City Council will come down and take a picture. Okay? All right. Come over here. Yes. Let me look at you. Okay. So it's a proclamation from the City Council, and on behalf of our 113,000 residents of the City of Miami Gardens, is honored to celebrate Avilio Tom Ruiz on the occasion of his retirement from the City of Miami Gardens. Tom has been an employee for the City of Miami Gardens for 20 years, serving as the city's first public works director since 2004. Tom's tenure in the city has been marked by significant achievements. He spearheaded the establishment of the city's second largest department, devised policies and procedures, managed budgets, and assembled a team of dedicated professionals. Their collective efforts have been instrumental in maintaining the city's infrastructure and services, thereby enhancing the quality of life for our residents. Tom has not only excelled within the city of Miami Gardens, but has also made significant impact on the state and national level. He has been acknowledged as a leader in the industry by the National American Public Works Association. From 2011 to 2013, he served as the chairman of the South Florida branch of APWA, and he currently holds the esteemed position of president of the Florida chapter of APWA, which is a further testament of his exceptional leadership. Tom's positive energy, his responsiveness, problem-solving, can-do approach are appreciated by everyone around him and has contributed to his success in Miami Gardens. We extend our heartfelt appreciation for your remarkable journey and unwavering commitment to our community. As you embark in this new chapter of your life, remember that you did not just strive for success, you continuously hit the mark. Miami Gardens is undoubtedly benefited from your contributions, and we are all better for it. So, therefore, on behalf of Mayor Rodney Harris, Vice Mayor Katrina Wilson, and the entire City Council, also co-workers, we hereby proclaim the day you retire, May 31st, as Ovidio Tom Ruiz Day in the City of Miami Gardens.
And Madam Vice Mayor, if I can have a special privilege right here.
Yes, sir, you may.
Tom is a vital part of this city. He has played a vital role in everything dealing with our public works, dealing with the creation of this city, and we really appreciate you, Tom. We really do. So that being said, I'm going to allow the audience to really give him a round of applause.
Do you have any words while they come down?
I'm very humble for this occasion and being here 20 years. There was a lot of ups and downs, but we got the job done, and that's the main thing of coming to a city like this from day one and seeing the growth and council doing the right thing for the city, and it was a pleasure serving. Thank you very much.
I was trying to say something before we applaud, but I personally, from the bottom of my heart, want to say thank you. When I started on the city council a little over 4 years ago, one of my biggest things that I drove was infrastructure improvement, and we worked diligently to create a number of initiatives to help improve the quality of life for the residents of Miami Gardens. And every time we worked together, I felt the passion and your desire to serve Miami Gardens residents, and that meant the world to me. So I wish you nothing but the best, and may God blessings rain upon your life.
Wow.
Now we're on to public comments. Shara. Okay. Okay, now we're on to public comments. Deputy City Clerk, would you read the back of the card?
One second, Vice Mayor. Article 2, Section 2-60 of the City of Miami Gardens Code entitled Public Participation provides that any person making personal, irrelevant, impertinent, and slanderous remarks or who becomes boisterous while addressing the City Council shall not be considered orderly or observing decorum if any person becomes too lengthy, abusive, obscene, and/or disruptive or otherwise fails to comply with decorum rules. The presiding officer may issue a warning and provide the opportunity for the individual to conclude remarks in a decorous manner and within the designated time limit, interrupt and terminate the individual from conducting their remarks, bar the individual from further appearances before the City Council unless or until permission to continue or again address the City Council is granted by a majority vote of the City Council. Orders shall be maintained if any person refuses to obey the orders of the presiding officer and is declared out of order. The individual may be subjected to removal by the Sergeant at Arms.
Thank you. And so I'm going to call two names. The first name is the person that will come to the podium, and the second person will stand and wait in the area there as to make this process run a little bit smoother. Additionally, it is asked that all individuals that come to the podium address your comments directly to the City Council. Okay? All right. So the first person will be Patricia Cole, and after Mrs. Cole, we will have Dr. David Masters.
Excuse me for taking so long. I'm visually
That's
impaired.
okay. Take your time.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. My name's Patricia Cole, 2350 Northwest 187th Street, Miami Gardens, Florida. First of all, I would like to say thank you to the City of Miami Gardens Police Department for selecting me and my husband for the year of 2023 as Citizens Residents of the Year. I really appreciate the award. Next, I would like to make a comment on Resolution 10.1, the naming of the streets in Miami Gardens. I think it's a great idea to name the streets after the sororities and the fraternities, but I think it's a better idea if we would name the streets over in the areas where we have the colleges, because Miami Gardens is very blessed to have a HBCU college. And I think the kids would get more out of it if they're able to see the different Divine Nine schools as they go in and out of the different colleges. Over in our area in Crestview, where they named the Deltas last week or week before last, and where they want to name the AKAs, I don't have a problem with it, but I feel like most of the residents in the area are retired, and most of us already lived our life and decided where we wanted to do with our life. A lot of us was not able to be privy to any of these organizations, and we do have some very historical people that live in our area that would be more rewarding to get streets named after them. So, but I wish you would name some streets after the sororities. I have nothing against them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Cole. We will now have Dr. David Masters, and after Dr. Masters, Gail Cunningham will be in the chamber. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Vice Mayor Wilson. Thank you. I've been advised that the following issue is outside the city's jurisdiction. Nevertheless, as our elected advocates, I wish to bring the following request to your attention. I speak of the need to add a dedicated right, that is westbound turning lane, to the southern end of the Northwest 7th Avenue extension adjacent to Topgolf and the empty lot where the now demolished haunted hospital used to loom. As it now stands, there are only two southbound lanes, one which turns left, that is eastbound, and the other lane which is intended to accommodate both those drivers who desire to proceed forward, along with those who need to turn right, which is westbound, onto both the Turnpike and the Palmetto Expressway. As it stands now, if even one driver aspires to proceed straight ahead in order to purchase gasoline at the Shell station, then dozens of other drivers are obligated to await several changes of the traffic lights in order to simply access either the Turnpike or the Palmetto. And I presume that now, before that lot is developed, might be the appropriate time to try to widen that and move the sidewalk and all that. And I realize that it's beyond your jurisdiction, but I would assume that y'all have friends among District 6 of the Florida FDOT, and you know people, or you could advise me on, how to proceed. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mrs. Cunningham, and next in line would be Mrs. Hughes, Rhea Hughes.
Good evening. I'm Gail Cunningham, resident of 19001 Northwest 14th Avenue Road, Miami Gardens, Florida 33169. Please, to all persons on the dais and to everyone that's in the City Council meeting tonight, please, all persons seated at the dais, at some point verbalize during this council meeting or soon thereafter, inform the residents, business owners, all stakeholders of your job description, responsibilities as a publicly elected official public servant. Please advise the people of where the requested information can be found in the official documents of our city. Please, this information is requested for the people, the voters who are moving forward with their research, accessing background information, acquiring present time information, and proposed visions and expectations which unite the people of our fair city. They are engaging in thought as to what the parameters are of publicly elected officials, public servants, based on a job description, and to what extent, by choice, not requirement, are choices made to serve beyond the parameters set and engage with, unite with, seek to know the pulse of people, accept the people's right to have a voice and have their voices heard. They are grateful to live in the United States of America, the American spirit experiment, which embodies freedom of speech. We are proud, uniquely diverse in our city. We are people who know our history, active in the present, and visionaries of the future. We want to know and will continue to seek the answers to who, what, how, when, where, and why not. Seek and ye shall find. Publicly elected officials, public servants, we voted and will vote again August 20th, 2024. Assist us in knowing the before, now, and future plans for us. If you choose or have chosen through your actions to operate beyond the written confines of your job description, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You may have a seat. Mrs. Clara Johnson is next. Mrs. Hughes.
Good afternoon, Council. Rhea Hughes, 3335 Northwest 180th Street, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33056. According to the protocol manual, which I have in front of me, obtained from the clerk, item 3.1 agenda items, it states, there will be no additions of council member-sponsored items placed on the City Council agenda after the City Council agenda has been published, unless they are deemed to be an emergency. Emergency items are only those matters immediately affecting the public health, safety, and welfare of the community, such as a widespread civil disorder, disaster, pandemic, etc. I bring this to your attention because on the City Council agenda under Order of Business, in parentheses, it reads, items to be pulled from consent agenda at this time. There is no request for add-on items as such. Therefore, it should not be asked from the dais to council members the night of the meeting if anyone have any add-on items, unless the item is deemed to be an emergency as stated in the protocol manual. Also, for record purposes, the protocol manual and all official documents of the City of Miami Gardens should be dated, and should any changes and or revisions occur, should be noted on the documents as to not cause confusion. Remember, we must govern our City Council meetings accordingly. The public is watching. Thank you.
Okay, we will now have Clara Johnson, and following Clara Johnson will be Howard Dupree. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Clara Johnson. I live at 19621 Northwest 22nd Court. I had a huge speech written out, but I'm just going to go with what naming streets. And I love the AKA. They're beautiful, wonderful women. But I feel that we need something on our council, a resolution, where we would have some input as to what's going to be renamed, because I did not see this until it was too late. Because the morning I wake up and you all have renamed my street to Governor DeSantis, I'm going to have a heart attack. Okay, I don't want to find that out at the last minute. So I'm wondering, is there some way we can become a part of when you're going to name these streets so that we can say, okay, that's fine. It's not. But these parameters that you have in this resolution as to the co-designation by which a renumbered street shall receive it, it has to have procedures. And one of those procedures is that it has to be talked to, it has to be sent out in a public way. And I never got that. And that's why I'm upset, because I think if you're going to have a street in front of our park, you should be wonderful. You are wonderful, don't get me wrong. But it is a park that represents Miami Gardens. Now it's AKA Way, which is great, but it could have been another name. Could have been Crestview Way, could have been anything. I'm only asking, please have a way for us to have an input so that we can have what's going on in our city, because now we've got all the fraternities all over the city. And what about our people here who work so hard in an HOA, in crime and grind, people who put in their time? That's all I'm asking. Please let us know. Help us.
Your time is up. Thank you. Mr. Howard Dupree.
Good evening. My comments are not directed against any of the esteemed Divine Nine organizations, for which I have great respect. Many of my friends and family are proud members of these historic African-American fraternities and sororities. As a matter of fact, at every family reunion, we have friendly battles between the sororities and fraternities, like I'm sure most families. However, I urge the council to review and reform the process for naming or renaming our streets to ensure that they reflect our local neighborhoods and inclusivity and representation. The current process contradicts the mayor's frequent assurances that the city values and incorporates residents' input in its decisions. As far as I know, this was not evident in renaming parts of 24th Avenue and now 17th Avenue, which runs through the Crestview and Rolling Oaks neighborhoods. Despite the hard work of these dedicated neighborhood organizations, the Rolling Oaks, Crestview, HOA, Rolling Oaks, HOA, the Crime Watch organization, despite the hard work of those three dedicated neighborhood organizations to maintain these areas, none were informed or involved in this decision. Speaking with many neighbors and association members, I have found a strong consensus. I have found a strong consensus at the council, particularly the 10.1 resolution maker has disregarded our voices. This sense of exclusion and disrespect is unacceptable. I call on the council to align the street naming process with our community values, inclusion, and respect. Let us ensure that every decision reflects the input of our community.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, so public comments are closed at this time.
Vice Mayor, there are no ordinance on for first reading, no ordinances on for second reading. The resolution, the public hearing resolution. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizing the renaming of Northwest 17th Avenue from Northwest 183rd Street to Northwest 188th Street as Alpha Kappa Alpha Way, authorizing the city manager to change the street signage, providing for the adoption of representation, providing for an effective date. And this is sponsored by Councilman Reggie Leon.
Okay, and so now we are open for public comments for Resolution 10.1. The first person we have on the list is Janice Span-Givens.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
You need to move the item.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay,
I
so.
move the item.
Yeah.
I second.
Yeah.
And
So
before
now-
we go into the public comments, first of all, I would like to thank the council for your support on these street renamings. What we're doing here, we have residents that live throughout Miami Gardens that are part of all of these different organizations. Even some of the organizations that you just heard speak, we have members of different fraternities and sororities that have gave back to this community in unbearing ways. I see Ms. Patricia Carter, one of our professors, that took out time at Florida Memorial University. I see elementary school teachers in here that live in the Rolling Oaks area that continue to pour back into this community. So with that, Vice Mayor, I move the item.
Okay. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay.
The item has been properly moved and seconded.
And now we have public comments. Okay, Janice Span-Givens.
Good evening. I am Janice Span-Givens, president of the Gamma Zeta Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. On behalf of the 343 members of the chapter, we are honored that you are presenting this proposal, and we are hopeful that the council will agree that Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated warrants this distinguished honor. Rosalind Carter once said, "I believe that one of the most important things to learn in life is that you can make a difference in your community, no matter who you are or where you live." Founded on January 15, 1908 in Washington, D.C. at Howard University, our mantra has been and continues to be providing service to all mankind. Gamma Zeta Omega chapter, chartered 84 years ago, was the first AKA graduate chapter chartered in the state of Florida and the first Greek chapter in Miami. Our service has spanned over the entire city of Miami and beyond. Our very own Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, a member of our chapter, former president of our chapter, former South Atlantic Regional Director of Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina, and the founder of the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence Project, wholeheartedly sends her support of this proposal. Unfortunately, because of her congressional duties, she is unable to attend today. But in her absence, I know her pride is showing. Our chapter has been committed to this area, even prior to the City of Miami Gardens incorporation in 2003. Our chapter has collaborated with schools and businesses in the area, including participating in Relay for Life events, community cleanup efforts, volunteering with seniors events, and volunteering at the Miami Dolphins Cancer Challenge, just to name a few. We work to make a greater impact on the communities in which we live. Our sister chapters are here to support us on this. Having this street named after our organization would not only honor our rich legacy of service, it would be a constant reminder to the residents of Miami Gardens of our commitment and dedication to enriching the lives of others through our programs and partnerships, as well as advocating for change and education for all families working collectively to achieve a healthy Miami Gardens community. Thank you.
Excellent. We will now have Vernique Williams.
Good evening. On behalf of Alpha Kappa Alpha President and CEO Danette Anthony Reed, South Atlantic Regional Director, the Honored Tiffany Moore Russell Esquire, and the members of Cluster 1 South Atlantic Region, thank you for inviting us here tonight. I, Vernique Williams, Cluster 1 Coordinator, stand before you today with a heart full of gratitude and a deep sense of pride. It is an honor to have the opportunity to express my sincere appreciation to the City of Miami Gardens for considering the proposal to name a street Alpha Kappa Alpha Way in recognition of our organization, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. First and foremost, I would like to express our profound gratitude to the City Council members and the Mayor of their unwavering support and acknowledgement of our organization's contributions. This gesture signifies not only the city's recognition of our sorority's impact, but also the importance of unity and collaboration between our great organization and the City of Miami Gardens. Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, the first historical African-American Greek letter sorority, was founded on the principles of sisterhood, scholarship, and service. Since our establishment over a century ago, we have strived to make a difference in the lives of individuals and communities around the world. In Miami Gardens, we have been actively implementing our international programs initiatives, which encompass empowering our families, building economic wealth, enhancing our environment, advocating for social justice, and uplifting our local community. Our commitment to empowering our families has been realized through various programs aimed to promoting education, health, and financial literacy within the city. We have worked tirelessly to provide resources and opportunities for individuals and families to thrive and succeed. In line with building economic wealth, we have facilitated entrepreneurship workshops, financial literacy seminars, and networking events that empower individuals to achieve financial stability and independence. By fostering economic growth within the city, we aim to create a stronger and more prosperous community. Enhancing our environment is another vital aspect of our mission. We have actively participated in environmental initiatives such as neighborhood cleanups, tree planting, and educational programs on sustainability. Our goal is to create a greener and healthier environment for both current and future generations. Advocating for social justice is the core of our organization. We firmly believe in equality, fairness, and eradication of systemic barriers. Through workshops, rallies, and community outreach, we strive to raise awareness, promote inclusivity, and advocate for meaningful change. Lastly, uplifting our local community remains a top priority. We have collaborated with local organizations and community leaders to address pressing issues and provide support where it is needed most. Our efforts have focused on education, health, and social services, aiming to empower individuals and foster a sense of unity within the community. Once again, thank you to the City of Miami Gardens for recognizing Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Thank you. We will now have Florida State Senator Rosalind Osgood.
Good evening to Mayor Rodney Harris, Vice Mayor Katrina Wilson, and all of the esteemed City of Miami Gardens Commission. I am State Senator Dr. Rosalind Osgood, and I greet you in the anthem of April Ryan. A black woman will save the world. I commend you today on your remarkable leadership. This item today sends a message to the entire state of your commitment to recognizing and preserving and memorializing the historic contribution of black women. In a time when some have indicated that black history has no educational value, and others have vocalized their warped belief that black people benefited from slavery. I personally don't see the benefits in being lynched, raped, and demoralized for someone else's financial and sexual pleasures. Your leadership today is greatly appreciated. Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated has a 116-year history of black women being supreme in service to all mankind. From the visionary leadership of our founder, Ethel Hedgeman Lau, to the operational excellence of our first national president, Nellie Kwanda, to Kamala Harris, the first African-American vice president of the United States of America, to the 3 Alpha Kappa Alpha women currently serving in the Florida Senate, Geraldine Thompson, Tracy Davis, and yours truly, Rosalind Osgood. To the 3 Alpha Kappa Alpha women currently serving in the Florida House, Representative LaVon Bracy Davis, Yvonne Henson, and Miami's own Representative Ashley Gant. To the members of Alpha Kappa Alpha serving on your commission, Councilwoman Shannon Campbell and Vice Mayor Katrina Wilson, both members of Gamma Zeta chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. To our South Atlantic Regional Director, the first black clerk of court in the state of Florida, the Honorable Tiffany Moore Russell, Esquire. To the legendary, renowned global civil rights leader, former school board member, principal, and teacher, and my personal mentor, Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, just to name a few. If this resolution passes today, the significant global contributions of women of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated will be woven into the fabric of the history of the city of Miami Gardens with a distinctive visible marker. As we think about the work and what you're doing today, our organization is known for being the first and the finest, raising $1.5 million in one day to pay for education for black children. Not to mention feeding the homeless and taking care of the elderly. And in 2023, founding the first ever black female-owned members-only credit union. Thank you for your influential leadership. Thank you for your stand for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Thank you for this public display of audacious leadership and honoring the hard work and leadership of black women. God bless you, and God bless America.
Thank you. It is at this moment, I will exercise a bit of personal privilege. I have to say to you that I was a little girl at one time. And if it wasn't for women like you, I'd have been a lost little girl. Giving up your Saturdays to come and pick me up from my mama's house, to teach me how to sit, to teach me what fork to pick up. If it wasn't for you coming to get this little girl on Sunday to take me to church, I would have been a lost little girl. If it wasn't for women like you who would come and have Wednesday night meetings to teach me if I was having problems in school with my work, where would I be? So I would like to move the item.
Second.
Can we call the vote? We don't need to say nothing.
Madam Clerk.
Would you like me to call the roll, Vice Mayor? Councilwoman Campbell?
Yes.
Councilman Leon?
Yes.
Councilwoman Iguodaro?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wilson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Julian?
Yes.
Councilman Stevens?
I vote yes.
Mayor Harris?
I vote yes.
The item passes 7-0.
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, can we take a recess to take a photo and let those that want to exit?
We can do that, sir.
Thank you. Please join us in the front. Please join us in the front for a photo real quick.
Y'all know how to do this, right?
Okay. Ladies, can you turn the mic? Hello, ladies? Hello? Hello? Let's get... passed the resolution. Okay, so now we are back in session. All right.
All right, we're now on to the consent agenda. Item 11.1, the resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating funds from Councilwoman Linda Julian's community benefit account in an amount not to exceed $5,000 done pro ton for Christie House, Inc., providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilwoman Linda Julian. Item 11.2, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating funds from Councilwoman Linda Julian's community benefit account in an amount not to exceed $9,000 for the 4th annual Off to College giveaway, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilwoman Linda Julian. Item 11.3, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating funds from Councilwoman Linda Julian's community benefit account in an amount not to exceed $800 for the Rolling Oaks Homeowners Association signage, provided for adoption representation, provided for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilwoman Linda Julian. Item 11.4, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, waiving rental fees and service charges for the use of the Senior Family Center and paying associated staffing costs from Councilwoman Shannon Campbell's Public Affairs Special Events account in amounts in support of North County K-8 Center 8th grade dance, provided for adoption representation, provided for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilwoman Shannon Campbell. Item 11.5, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizing an allocation of $10,000 from Councilwoman Shannon Campbell's community benefit account to the Miami Gardens Neighborhood Watch in support of the Senior Home Beautification Project, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilwoman Shannon Campbell. Item 11.6, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizing the city manager to rely on that City of Hollandale Beach Community Redevelopment Agency modular home site preparation and installation development agreement, a copy of which is attached here to is Exhibit 4, to provide new residential housing for an amount not to exceed $334,436.30 per unit from Journey C&D Group, Inc., providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is co-sponsored by Vice Mayor Katrina Wilson and the City Manager. Item 11.8, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizing the City Manager to negotiate a ground release of the property generally located at 2775 Northwest 183rd Street, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33056, in accordance with this term sheet attached here to in substantial form as Exhibit A, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and is sponsored by the City Manager. Item 11.9, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, urging the Mayor of Miami-Dade County to take all necessary steps to provide for publication of a legal advertisement and public notice on a publicly accessible website of the county for use by municipalities in accordance with Section 50.0311 of the Florida statute, providing for instructions to the City Clerk, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by City Clerk, and that is your consent agenda.
I need a motion on the consent agenda.
Motion.
Okay, it's been moved and second. Is there any discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes.
All right. There are no quasi-judicial zoning hearing items. We're now on to the reports of the City Manager, City Attorney, and City Clerk.
Good evening. Good evening again, everyone. From the City Manager's Office, congratulations to North Day Center for Modern Languages on being awarded Values Matters Pursuit of Excellence 2024 School of the Year. Way to go to Principal LaToya James Edwards and the CML Panthers. And as we approach the summer season, the City of Miami Gardens is currently accepting applications for various full-time, part-time, and seasonal positions within the Parks and Recreation Department. Check out the city's websites for more details. And lastly, since our next council meeting will be held on June 12th, I would like to extend an early acknowledgement of Code Enforcement Officers Appreciation Week, which begins June 3rd. A special thank you to the city's awesome code enforcement team led by Dr. Joan Bispot. Mr. Mayor, that ends my report.
Okay, City Attorney.
I don't have a report, Vice Mayor.
Okay, Mr. Clerk.
All right, Mayor, Council, I do have a report on behalf of Councilman Leon. As you know, Councilman Leon served as the chair to the Charter Revision Commission. Yesterday, he submitted his report to the council regarding the action taken by the Charter Revision. This report goes on to provide a summary as to how the Revision Commission met, some of the items that they went over in more particular. And this report is to provide council the recommendation that the Charter Revision Commission suggests that the City Council consider proposing a charter amendment to the city's electors. This amendment would modify Article 3, Section 3.2 of the Charter entitled City Manager Appointment Removal to include a provision enabling the City Council to waive the residential requirement with the majority vote. Furthermore, the Commission recommends this amendment define the distance beyond the city limits within which the city manager may reside in the event that the residential requirement is waived. Mayor and Council, with this recommendation by the Charter Revision Commission, at this point right now, as a clerk, on behalf of Councilman Leon, we're asking for a direction to me and the city attorney to move forward with bringing forth the item for council consideration on this suggested amendment by the Charter Revision Commission.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Is there any discussion on this item?
Could he, Mr. Mayor, could you restate?
Yeah.
The amendment?
Yes, the request.
All right. The Charter Revision Commission suggests that the City Council consider proposing a charter amendment to the city's electors. This amendment will modify Article 3, Section 3.2 of the Charter entitled City Manager Appointment and Removal to include a provision enabling the City Council to waive the residential requirement with a majority vote. Furthermore, the Commission recommends that this amendment define the distance beyond the city limits within which the city manager may reside in the event that the residential requirement is waived. So currently, right now in the charter, the city manager is required to reside in the city. In summary, what the Charter Revision Commission is recommending is that the charter be amended to add a provision or change for the provision that the city council may waive this residential requirement by majority vote. However, they also had concerns with setting the limits as to how far the city manager can reside outside of the city limits.
All right, Mr. Clerk, it'll be open for further discussion either with you or at another council meeting, correct?
Yes, those items have to come to council for. I didn't know we were doing it this way. The report, I think you emailed it out?
Yes.
So you can take an opportunity to read it, but the items have to come to council for a vote. So they have to come to you by resolution, and then you can assess each item and decide if you want to move forward putting it on the ballot or if not. And if at that time you all have other proposals, it would be my suggestion that you do it at that time as well because of the deadline. So we do everything at one time.
What's the deadline, Mr. Clerk?
So right now, in order to put any referendum at the next election, which would be the general election for November 5th, 2004, that's the state general election, we would have to get the ballot language to the supervisor election no later than Friday, July 26, 2024. So we have 2 meetings in June and 2 meetings in July.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Are we out of the deadline for the August election?
Yes, we're out of the deadline for the August election.
So I'm looking at an item here, Article 2, right? And I need to get clarity. Are we saying basically that we have to, that we will, if I want to have further discussion on this and make a recommendation regarding anything in here, I can make it today? Or we have to come back and propose it? How does that work? If you can walk me through that process, really.
So we would have to come back with a proposed resolution with that item for council consideration.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, so with that being said, will we be having a discussion on it prior to or in that moment when it is brought before us?
In that moment.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
What this report is, this is just summarizes what we discussed at the meeting. So basically making sure that I'm able to bring back what the representatives that we all chose. These are their recommendations. But as the clerk and the attorney said, what we would do is to move forward, we give them directions on to make the language so they can come back and present it to us, and then we would decide if that's something that we would like to go to the ballot for the residents to make a decision on. but these are all their recommendations.
Folks, I just want to be clear that we understand. It's a commission. You all have to consider every item that they recommend. You don't have to vote it up or vote it down, but you have to consider it. I just want to make sure you're clear. The items, we're going to bring you resolutions on each of these items to vote up or vote down.
I guess, okay, and would that consideration take place now or when?
When we put the item on the agenda,
Okay.
Vice Mayor.
Well, then I just want to ask a question because I wasn't at the meeting when they deliberated about the limitations on the length of service. Tell me what was the deliberation. Can you recap that?
Mr. Clerk, I don't have the notes on me, but it was a conversation in regards to term limits. Right now, the term limits are 2 terms. The conversation was extending it 1 term. But again, these are suggestions and it was conversations. So if we wanted to move forward with those items, we would have to come up with, we'll get with the attorney and Mario to come up with that language and present it to the council, and the council decides if they want to move that forward to the people. Can we give, Mr. Mayor?
What I would do is go ahead and give the clerk the permission to move forward with it in order for us then to vote on these items that were brought up at the committee. And if there's any further discussion that you guys want to have with the city clerk, you possibly can. That would be my recommendation.
Okay. Clear.
Okay.
Just a comment, if you can get them to us sooner than later, if you have other recommendations, because we have to craft ballot language. So if the council knows
If
it wants
anybody
to do
has
something.
any other comments or recommendations that you think should be on there, bring that to the attention of the clerk and the attorney. Good with that? Okay.
And to finish that report, I just want to thank the council for allowing me to serve as the chairman of the Charter Revision Committee. It was truly an honor to be able to chair this as we set the parameters for the next few years of Miami Gardens. So again, thank you to my colleagues. That ends my report.
Technically, that was my report. My report is done.
On my behalf.
So don't call on him again. Don't call on Reggie. I don't have a report, Mr. Mayor. I do have a report, rather, but I'm going to submit it to the clerk for the record because of time's sake for me. So thank you.
Okay, Councilwoman Iguodaro.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor.
Welcome.
I am truly thankful to be able to serve and be a blessing to others. I pray that all of our residents stay safe. On this Saturday, May 25th, in our tradition of inclusion, I will be hosting the special games at Bunch Park. Please pass the word on if you know anyone who has special needs. We also need volunteers. You can contact my aide, Mr. Martin, at extension 278. This is always a great event, and I encourage you and your family to come out and participate. As we move into this Memorial Day weekend, let us remember those who have gone on but paved the way for us. I encourage everyone to enjoy their family. Finally, thank you to our Miami Gardens residents of Seat 3. I am honored to be your councilwoman, and I look forward to serving you. Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. That ends my report.
Okay, Councilman Leon.
I'll take my report just as is. I just did it. So thank you.
Okay. Councilwoman Campbell.
Madam Vice Mayor, I just want to remind everyone about the Bauhaus reunion that's coming up. The mayor and I are hosting that June 9th, Buccaneer Park. Be there. We're going to have a grand old time. Also, I wanted to refer to a statement that was made last meeting by Councilman Reginald Leon asking that Vice Mayor and myself co-sponsor the AKA. So I was wondering, is that offer still available? How does that, can you express, how does that work? And other than that, let's continue positive forward progress, and I would ask that he can offer a response.
Mr. Clerk?
If it's the consensus of the dais, I can go ahead and once we get the resolution signed off and codified with myself and the mayor, I can go ahead and put it as a co-sponsor if that's the consensus of the dais.
I'm fine with it. I don't have a problem.
I'm good with it.
I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Mayor?
No report for me, just that this Monday is Memorial Day, and we will be having our annual Memorial Day celebration at the Senior Center at 9 a.m. So please come out as we again pay tribute to one of our fallen soldiers. Just to say God bless you guys.
Okay. I just wanted to make one final announcement. We are in strong preparation in full swing for our Juneteenth Park In and Party experience. This year's theme says, America keeps its promise of freedom for all. We hope that all of you will be able to join us. We have a VIP experience also that's available to you. You can go to mgjuneteenth.com to make your registration. The doors will open at 3 o'clock p.m. at the Hard Rock Stadium. You will be able to enter in, I believe it's gate 18 and or gate 15. Park in and party means that you can bring your vehicle. You will have a space next to your vehicle where you and your family and friends may gather. This is certainly a time where we want to have all of our residents, all of our friends and family to come together to recognize Juneteenth as a major holiday for us all. I want to also just acknowledge once again our former mayor, Oliver Gilbert, who initiated Juneteenth as the first citywide holiday long before it became a national holiday. And then I, along with my colleagues, Reginald Leon and Councilman Stevens, we have spearheaded a Juneteenth event that is now the largest probably in southeastern United States and has also been recognized by Essence magazine. And so I want to say to you that Miami Gardens continues to get it right, and they continue to be leaders in the country of what it is and how it is that we take those things that represent us and make it a solid expression of us as a people. And so I really, really am looking forward to you all coming out and seeing, first of all, for the first time, all of the local talent that you will see. We had a talent search of individuals that will be brought to the stage. They will be your mothers, they will be your daughters, they will be your neighbors who will be on stage, along with Stephanie Mills, who is a Grammy Award-winning artist. And so again, Miami Gardens, Juneteenth.com. That's it, and I'm calling all of you to come. Though that ends my comments.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
I would like to make a motion that we dismiss.
We can dismiss, sir.
Thank you.
No one wasn't trying to be stoned.
Huh?